for a little show that we like to call Where Your Head's At. It's real thoughts, real opinions, on real shit. And we want to know what you think and where your head's at on the situation. If you got a topic that you want us to talk about on the show, hit us up at cartel901radio@gmail.com. And make sure you put in the subject line, where your head's at. All right, we back with author Shuwanna White. She has a book called The Strength from Within. Shuwanna, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's good. You can get this book at your website. Your website is www.shawannawhite.com. That's SHUWANNAWHITE.com. Shawannawhite.com. You can get this book also at Barnes & Noble and Amazon online. It's called The Strength from Within. That's a good thing. Like, you don't have many people writing books. What inspired you to write a book?
Well, you also can get it in the Christian bookstore in Bartlett.
Okay.
Squeeze it in there.
Okay, yeah.
But actually, I was walking through the house one day and God told me to write a book.
Okay.
And I said, nah, this is just my inner thoughts. So it went on for a couple days because a lot of people don't know this. In high school, I had some developmental courses.
Yeah.
You saw classes?
Right.
Okay. So I'm like, I'm sure he's not telling me to write a book because I struggle with spelling. So I said,
but you know what? Don't you think that the devil might try to attack that just because he knew you was going to do something great?
You know what? I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, but keep going. Tell me about
it. So I decided to get a spiral notebook and an ink pen, and I said, well, you know what? I'm going to try this out. God, if you're telling me to write a book, here goes. And I sat down, and words just started flowing.
Yeah.
Flowing.
Yeah.
And it took me 3 weeks to complete this book.
Okay. 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Wow.
Yes. God is awesome.
He is. Let's talk about, I got two titles out of the book for 2 of the chapters. You have a chapter called Blinded by Lust While Discovering Love.
Yes.
What's that chapter about? Tell me about that chapter.
That chapter of the book is about my life when I was probably around the age of 18, 19, 20.
Okay.
And my definition of love in a man was tattoos, pants sagging, nice shave, pocket full of money, so dope.
Like a street dude.
Yeah, like a street dude.
Yeah.
Street dude type.
Yeah.
And so that was my definition of a man. But at the same time, it was more like, hey, I know this is not something that's going to benefit me down the road.
Right.
It was just like a bad boy.
Okay. So you what do you think led you to wanting the bad boy image? Like, that's the guy that you felt like you wanted to be with. So what do you think led you to that?
And that goes back to the dad role.
Yeah.
I never really got the real definition of what a man's supposed to look like and how he's supposed to present himself.
Yeah. So you think that affected how the type of man that you wanted to attract?
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So if you could talk to a young lady that's maybe out there listening right now, she maybe deals with the same thing. If you were to say something to her, what would you say? How would you reach out to her?
I would tell her, first, love yourself. Okay. Don't look for a guy to love you. Okay. You first have to love yourself. Second of all, the guy that you decide that you want to date, don't look at him from the outside. You can't go by that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think you have to pray first. Ask God to show you who this guy really is. And don't just overlook warnings. Warnings, they do fly across your face.
Yeah, sometimes it's screaming at you like this may not be the right person, but
right.
Sometimes we blinded by love.
Then you hear about 2 girls fighting over him, or he has 2 baby mamas over here in North Memphis somewhere. Just figure of speech, but
right.
So that's like a warning.
Yeah. Okay. You got another chapter called My Mistake, Your Opportunity. Tell me about what you was talking about in that chapter.
Okay, my mistake or opportunity is more like a lot of people that went through what they call failure.
Okay.
And I'm fortunate to say that I graduated from college, even though I had developmental courses in school, in high school. So I graduated as an X-ray technician in 2008. So, I mean, you can hear me saying, hey, I was in developmental courses, but I also want you to hear, hey, I'm a college graduate.
Yeah.
So you can still achieve and prosper. Yeah. You know, so my mistakes is, you know, hey, I gave up on myself, but I decided to go back.
Now, see, that makes me think about the school system, too. Like, think about, somebody said a woman who ended up being a college graduate had developmental issues. Maybe they ain't teaching right. Or maybe they're not understanding how to teach, because obviously you could learn.
I could learn. That's correct.
Yeah. So that makes me really think about, what do you think about the school system? What do you think about how they teaching the kids right now?
Well, you know, most of the people in the school system that doesn't have kids, I think they really don't care. Second thing about that, you know, it's about a paycheck. Yeah. So they'll tell you in a minute, hey, I got mine, you better get yours.
Right.
So I think that a lot of that encouragement should come from home. Yeah. But just think now, if a lot of kids have been told you ain't gonna never be nothing, you ain't gonna never, you know, be nothing successful in life, then they begin to believe that.
Yeah.
So it kind of plays its role too at home, because if you hear it at home and then you get to school and the teacher saying they don't care, then where the care come in at?
Right, exactly.
So it's like, it's fair you just knocking at the door.
Do you think it's still a color thing? Like, with us having our first black president, and that to me is definitely a good statement in the history of America.
Right.
But do you think that we as black people are still judged by our color?
Sure. Yes.
Tell me about it. What do you think? Like, I mean, it's 2014. You know, going into another election year in 2016, you know, black people, I do believe we have progressed as a people, but do you think we're still looked at like we're still not good enough because of the color of our skin?
I do. For example, when I first held the audition for my other book, 24 Hours, and I had it announced on the radio and the newspapers, and they was calling, asking me questions like, I thought you was white.
Ooh. Okay.
I was like, wow. No, my last name is White. I'm not white.
Yeah.
And so I really do think that still, you know, I don't think a lot of them want us to get up there where they at. I think black people can't do it, or they want us to still be in this slave mentality, when actually we're just right beside them, because God created all us to be equal.
Yeah.
So nobody is greater than the next person, no matter what the race or, you know, is.
Yeah. Well, you're definitely a strong woman. I want to say I salute you today.
Thank you.
Anybody that's really, you know, I understand, you know, coming from nothing. I can understand coming from an environment that is not productive, is not set up for you to benefit from it. You know what I mean? So, all right, we've had our first black president. What do you think about a woman president? 2016 election coming up. Do you feel like that a woman can be president and run the country successfully?
Well, to be honest, I think a woman can do anything that a man can do.
Yeah.
But my main focus on that issue is this. If a person's not going to rise up and do, first of all, lining with the will of God, what the word of God says.
Yeah.
If they doesn't abide by those rules, then it doesn't matter if it's a male or female.
Yeah.
We're going to be in trouble.
Do you think we've had a godly president so far? Do you think Barack has been maybe in line with what you feel as a young black Christian lady in America? Do you feel like he's been doing a good job in your eyes?
In my eyes, I think Barack, he started off real good, real strong. We was excited, first of all, because he was black.
Right.
Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he came in, but I think this second time around, to me, was kind of like a question mark.
Yeah.
Because he began to open doors to things that was against God. Okay. Like when he signed for gay marriages.
Right.
That's not of God. So I disagreed, and I didn't vote the second time.
Right, okay.
So I believe that even though his intentions from the start may have been all good, but sometimes it's just like greed.
Yeah.
You know, you want more and more and more, and I think he just did what he had to do to get that second run.
Yeah.
And I didn't agree with that.
I mean, I guess with living in America, I definitely think people should have the choice to do whatever it is they want to do.
Correct.
I guess my problem with the argument was they were comparing it to being black. Like, you know, I'm all for, you know, if gay pride, gay rights, you know, fight for whatever you want to believe in.
Right.
But don't make it a comparison to my struggle.
That's true. That's true.
You know, what you think about that?
Well, this is what I think. To me, I'm gonna go back to this again. Now, Obama, he did a great job in the black and white thing, and you correct. Everybody has free will. Right. He give all of us free will. Yeah. But I feel like if you're in a leadership position, and you came on strong, and you talking about God this and God that, then you flip the script, and then you go against what you said during your first term. Yeah. Then you're not a great leader to me. Right. Because a great leader has to lead. Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You think, and you have to be an example. You think he's trying to give you the flim flam? He's for everybody. He's for everybody. He's for whatever. You know, hey, this is like Nike. Let's just do it.
Let's just do it. Everybody's good. Right. Support Barack. Everybody's fine.
Everybody's fine. Whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, I got to say, I'm actually. I mean, I can't forget the past. Okay. I remember George Bush. I remember George Bush had everybody nervous. Right. Everybody in America was scared. George Bush had remember the alerts, like the terror alerts that the colors would be on the screen. You'd be like, oh no, it's an orange day. We in trouble. You know. In trouble. Right. Yeah. Gas price high. I'm talking about through the roof. And I feel like people forget George Bush, right? And they try to pin a whole lot of things on Barack, like he's the scapegoat. And when things aren't going right, it's like they don't understand that this happened way back before. Yeah, this whole issue was a whole nother person, right? And he's been cleaning up that mess for a long time. That's true. And I feel like a lot of times he doesn't get the credit. Yeah, the credit that he's due I mean, not only as a president who cleaned up a major catastrophe, right? But a president who was the first black president. I had to, definitely take my hat off to him, because I think under the circumstances he's done an excellent job. Like, I don't feel nervous in America like that no more. Right. Like, for me, being a father, to like not be so fearful to send my daughter to school is a big thing for me. Like, Bush had me nervous. Right. And he didn't never, he didn't give like, I like how Barack talks. He makes you feel a little bit better about it. It may be really bad, but it's like a good father. He make you feel a little bit better about the situation. Give you some comfort in that. Bush sound like the drunk guy in the club that's making you feel like it's finna go all bad. We're going to war tomorrow. Like, oh no, like, what do you think? Do you think between Barack, the job that George Bush did, and the job that Barack Obama is doing, who do you think has been the better president?
Me, I have to say Barack, because he has cleaned up the house a little bit, but at the same time now, Bush was bold with it.
Yeah, he was crazy bold.
He was real bold with it. Okay, he was bold. Yeah. But on the other end, I think it was deception. To me, this what's playing out now. Right. It's a lot of deception going on, because there's a lot of things that he's not talking about, Obama's not talking about, that's already supposed to take place. Yeah. And so soon as his time is up and whoever come in, it's just like he opened the door for him. Yeah.
I mean, I think they might be opening the door for that female president. So do you think all this might play out in her administration? Do you really think? Because I mean, times have definitely changed, and a lot of things I guess have been leading through this particular presidency. The next presidency, I mean, they may legalize weed everywhere. In a lot of states, weed has been legalized. Like, what do you think about the next presidency? Whoever gets it, what do you think of some of the changes going to be made?
The next president is going to be worse than Obama.
You think so?
Yes, I really do, because they're getting to the point now where, okay, the ladies, and the fathers too, this own family first, is taking care of kids, single parent kids, And if you smoke weed, okay, they're gonna pull a string of your hair.
Yeah. Now, what do you think? Do you think they should be doing that?
No, I don't, because they know all these black people gonna fail the drug test.
So all the black people.
All the black people. Now you got about 70% now of black people that smoke weed.
You think so? You think 70% of black people?
That's 70% that's on AFDC now.
Yeah, that's probably smoking weed.
They're smoking weed. Now the other 30% is white females, because they probably on crack and some more.
So but, they on pills, they on everything.
They on everything.
Oh Lord.
So when they do that, it's gonna be a great family. It's gonna be a war. I think it's gonna break out. I think it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. That's interesting.
It is.
We got author Shuwanna White in the house. Her book is called The Strength from Within.
Yes, yes.
Before we end, if you could direct somebody to your book, what would be the most important thing that you would tell them, or who do you feel like is your target audience for this book? Like, if you wanted this book to help somebody, who would it be, and what would you say to them?
Well, I want my book to target, all the audience, all ages, from the ages of, I'm gonna say 14 to on up. Okay. Because everybody has a past. Even the people that's 50, 40, 60, 70 years old, if you can read or audiobook, hey, I believe this book can help you, because they went through things too. Right. And they never told anybody about it. Yeah. Even at the age of 7, I was suicidal. Okay, age 7, really? Yeah. So how can she sit up and say at age 7, she was a kid playing in dirt, eating grass. How can she say she's suicidal?
But that means that you possibly had seen some things, or some things, and being involved. A lot of times people don't talk about the issues. Everybody, especially social media, they really want to talk about all the victories and successes in life. But nobody talks about, hey, I've struggled. Hey, I tried to kill myself. So guess what? Yeah. When I volunteer at the alternative school now, and I talk to the kids, and the first thing I ask them, anybody want to say anything, got any question, anybody been suicide, and the hands go up. Right. And it reminds me of me. Yeah. And I said, well, have you talked to your mother or your dad? No, they're just going to think I'm crazy. Yeah. I understand, because that was me. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But nobody talks about these things. Yeah. What do you feel like is a big step that maybe you made in your life that helps you get to a place where you felt like you were better?
Wow. You know what? Just basically when I gave God my life, but yet I still was sinning. Yeah. And he loved me just as I am. Yeah, you feel me? Yeah. Even though I said, Jesus, I believe you are Lord. Yeah. But I still was smoking weed. Yeah. I still was stealing. Yeah. And so with him just not pushing me away and abandoning me or giving up on me, he drawed me with love and kindness. Yeah. So in the midst of that, it gave me a change of heart. Yeah. I felt like, hey, you know what? I can make it. I can be different. My life can be a light or example for somebody else. Yeah. I was ashamed. I dated a guy that was way older than me. Yeah. But hey, I was telling people, hey, that's my uncle. Yeah. But at the same time, you can even learn from that. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, because what people don't understand, you're not the only young lady that was in that position, and you're not going to be the only one. That's right. That's right. And so, if there's a young lady out there that maybe has been or has dealt with any situation of that nature, or maybe dealing with that situation now, I want to encourage you to go get this book, The Strength from Within. A lot of times, even the family situations that you may be in, you may not feel like you have the help there, but I feel like God can be right there with you. Right there in the midst. And I think that's a proper title for this book, The Strength from Within. Yes. Author Shuwanna White. I appreciate you being here with us on Where Your Head's At Wednesday. Thank you for having me. Y'all can go to her website, www.shawannawhite.com. You can also find this book online at Barnes & Noble, Amazon online, and you said also at the Bartlett Christian Bookstore. In Bartlett, the Christian Bookstore in Bartlett, you can also get this book. This has been Where Your Head's At Wednesday. This your boy DJ Black. Hope you tune in next week. We out. Peace.